Allow me to begin this morning with the first reading. I think the first reading gives us a context in how we have to understand the gospel. And actually, not only the context to that understanding, but we can call it like a situation that we human beings have, and the gospel responds to what and how we have to live in that situation. You are going to understand what I'm trying to say, I hope. Vanity of vanities. All things are vanity. As you can hear by my accent, I'm not from here, so I'm going to read the definition of vanity. It's very important to understand what vanity means. It's two main definitions. I found that it's in my tablet, so it's online, an online dictionary. The first one is not what the book means. I'm going to read that one. Excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements. It's not that one. It's nothing. That vanity doesn't have to do anything with pride. The second one, actually, the second definition is the quality of being worthless and futile, temporary, futile. I don't know how to pronounce. F-U-T-I-L-E. Okay, you pronounce it. That one. That is the meaning. In Hebrew, the term is hebel, vanity, and it means vapor. Vapor, something that disappears like a vapor. It is very temporary. It's something that passes easily and fast. So the book is saying that it is a little bit pessimistic. Yes, I understand, but it's true. All things are temporary. All things are worthless. All things are meaningless. And after that, it continues. And if we read that book, that Deacon Kerr was trying to help you with the pronunciation, Ecclesiastes. You can pronounce it Kohelet. It's another name. It's the one who wrote the book. If you read the book, you are going to find that it's talking about about everything under the sun has not meaning. It's meaningless. It's not worth. It doesn't have any worth. It is temporary. Everything, he says, that is under the sun. Again, it's a little bit pessimistic, but if we think a little bit, it's true. In today's first reading, it's talking about human activity. And he's saying that at the end of the day, we are going to die, and what we worked for is going to stay here. This is what he's saying. So it is vanity in the way that is temporary, and we work so hard to achieve things, but at the end of the day, we are not going to take anything with us. It's vanity. It's temporary. It's meaningless. It's worthless. And it's pessimistic, yes, because we know that it has some meaning. But for us Christians, the only meaning that things have under the sun, in this planet, in this life, comes from God. And what the book is trying to say is that nothing has meaning, nothing has any way, nothing is substantial, nothing is important if God is not included. I think it's a beautiful lesson for us today. I have been thinking, preparing the homily, and it is amazing how the older I get, I'm getting older every day, the older I get, the most I can realize how that teaching in today's gospel, in our first reading, applies to me. I have been working in my entire life for many things, and many of them are not right now with me. The only thing that I can tell you that has remained, the only thing that has remained is Jesus Christ and what I have studied about him and what I have learned about him, what I have prayed in front of him. The other things doesn't have any value actually. They are vapor, vanity of vanities. And I don't want to tell you what, because I'm going to confess in front of you and I'm not going to do that. But I can tell you that. And I guess, and today I was thinking about that. I think almost every day, and you may be thinking and you may say that I am a little bit crazy, and maybe I am, I don't know. But I am thinking almost every day about my death, almost every day. And I think if there is a psychologist here, maybe, I think I'm not have any problem, okay? But it's very important to think about that, death. I'm not asking you to think about like me every day. I am like that since I had been like 23, 24. I have been thinking about my death almost every day because that gives me a perspective in my life. And I can recognize how life and what I do, even if it's important because I'm doing it with God and in his name, is vapor. Vapor. Passes. Doesn't have any meaning. The only thing, again, that has meaning is Jesus Christ growing in my life and me trying to grow in his knowledge. That's very important. Another day I may tell you, and I'm going to tell you right now, maybe it's not, it doesn't take me too long, why I've been thinking about my death almost every day. It's not because one day I woke up and I said, oh, I'm going to think about death every day. No, it was when I was studying philosophy, actually. And I did a work when I was studying philosophy. I don't remember why, about death from the perspective of philosophy. And since that moment, I began to think about death every day. It has accompanied me the entire life. And today, I was thinking in another way about death. I'm not scared about that. I know that I'm going to die. I am a little bit scared about how I'm going to die. I was listening today to one question, to what are you afraid? And my first response was to how I am going to die. Not about dying. I know that I'm going to die. I am afraid to die in a crash accident, for example. Ooh, I say, oh no, I don't want to die like that. I do not want, please God, no. I do not want to die burned. I don't want that. It has to be horrible. I do not want to die. I am very afraid to go in an airplane and die like that. I say, no, I don't want to die that way either. Please do not allow me to die that way. I do not want to die. I can't continue. So I am very afraid of how I'm going to die. But I'm not afraid of dying. Why I'm telling you that? Because the only thing that matters is God. And we all know that one day we are going to die. And I want to continue, start finishing, as the last sentence of today's gospel says, this is what matters: to be rich in God's eyes, to store up treasures to God or for God. That's what really matters in our life. So I want to finish today's homily saying and asking you, are we trying to be rich in God's eyes? Are you trying to be rich in God's eyes? Can we see that everything is vapor? I want to use the Hebrew translation, vapor, that everything is temporary, everything passes, everything. Nothing has meaning, everything is meaningless. I'm asking you to be pessimistic today. And that the only thing that really matters and have meaning is Jesus Christ, and the relation that we have with him, and that relation that we try to grow every day. Are we trying to do that every day when we wake up till we go to bed again? Interesting question that we have to answer. So let us pray today that Jesus Christ may become the center of our lives, that Jesus Christ may become the most important thing in each one of us, and that we can live this life, our life, from that point of view, with Jesus Christ being the center and the most important thing in each one of us.